We are looking at the best teams in Marvel Strike Force month of June. Now, since we are at the halfway point of the year, no matter if you are a veteran or a beginner, we got some really interesting insights with the teams we got so far, the teams that are coming up next, and what everything is pointing to. Let's go ahead and get into it. The newest team making its way into the game right now is the Accursed team. And you know, it's just not for me, all right? So I'm going to skip this team. You're not going to see them get developed on my channel. I'm just not down with demons and stuff, but you know, that's just my thing. Right? Not trying to put that on you. That's just my thing. So what we are going to see as we go through the next few months, I'm going to get penalized in a sense because I'm not going to have this team built up for any of the Harbinger events. But you're also going to see it's not going to be the end of Marvel Strike Force. Don't give in to the FOMO. In the meantime, we're finishing off the Thunderbolt team. So Curse is coming in, people for spenders. They're getting ahead on the next team. For us on the free-to-play side, we're still working on Hyperion here. Once we get him up and running, hopefully we'll then be able to simulate the Chaotic Storm raid. That'll save us some time and get us some good loot in the process. As we flip over to the new player account, we're kind of in the same boat, right? We have all the Thunderbolts unlocked except for Hyperion. Same deal. Once we get him, we'll be able to start knocking out that difficulty 3 and make sure we're getting that in-game loot. So that's what's happening for me, but I want to know about you. Do you have your Thunderbolts up and running already? Are they able to sim max difficulty in the Chaotic Storm raid? Have you found any other use for the team? So as we get into the calendar for the month of June, on the left-hand side there, we have Alpha Flight, and then on the right, we have the Astral team. So as we get later on into the video, I think these two teams in particular, why they're giving it to us now, are very, very telling of something that might be happening in the future. In the meantime, if you don't got these teams raised up, they're giving us a little bit of help to make that happen. Now, let's really start diving into the meat and potatoes of the process. Arena is the most important game mode in Marvel Strike Force, and we recognize that the Annihilators are the primary vanilla team that are doing work in Arena right now. However, we've also, especially this month, have noticed some changes that I think signify something is coming. Let's investigate further. The last time we spoke, I was ranked 28th in my Arena shard. Today, I'm at 39, right? That's not a huge swing. I am starting to get pushed back here and there. Today, because it's a weekend, I really got pushed back, but that's just normal. People play a little bit more on the weekends. So this is the same defensive setup that I've been using. It's similar to what a lot of people have, but as we look through the different individuals we're going to be taking a peek at today, let's see if we can notice some trends. So the person coming in at number 3 in my Arena shard is Bailey. Notice Bailey has Professor X unlocked, so he's taking up another spot on the Arena team. So we got Professor X, Odin, Null, Mephisto. The only Annihilator that this person is using is Gladiator. As more people get Professor X, we recognize that that's just going to push people farther and farther down. It's going to start scrunching that middle. Competition is going to increase, and Arena's getting tough. Coming in at number 2 is Trapman 07. So as you can see here, he does not have Gladiator. He instead is going with Apocalypse. He has Professor X, but there are no Annihilators on this team, right? It's all meta characters. It's that mythic soup, as some people might call it. So this is the end game that we might be pushing for when it comes to Arena. That means something is about to change. Holding down the number 1 spot, Free Knock. So once again, obviously he's got Professor X, Shadow King, Odin, Null, Apocalypse, no Annihilators are on this team. Obviously, these 3 individuals have Professor X. It gives them a huge advantage. It draws a line in the sand between the haves and have-nots. So where in my Arena shard, right, what's the ceiling I can punch up to if I don't have Professor X? So it looks like it's not too much farther. The 5th place individual, Mr. Stabby Squirrel, does not have Professor X. There's no Xavier here. His defense looks a lot like mine. So again, the difference between where I'm at and this individual's at is simply going to be power. Some of that power you can overcome, some of it you can't, right? Overpower is a thing. That's something that's not shown in a picture, but those are the stepping stones. Those are the things we need to keep in mind when trying to make advancement in Arena. So we're gonna start keeping track, right? I wanna know what things look like in your Arena shard. CDM7, he also has an Xavier, so the top 4 people in my Arena shard have him. That means that's the ceiling. Without him, I can't get into that area of the game at this point, right? It's just something to keep in mind. You just got to know your limits. You also need to keep in mind that what's going to happen is these individuals, simply because they have the character, are going to push everybody else down. So there are 4 very strong contenders that are now pushed down closer to me, and it's going to make it a little bit more difficult to climb. Case in point, Big Rome in the middle there, he has a gear tier 20 Null. Captain Josh on the right has a gear tier 20 Apocalypse. So these people are making their way in the chase for Xavier. Therefore, some of their arena team members are starting to get that special treatment. It's going to be a little bit more difficult to punch through them because of the difference in overpower. Not only that, but if we look at Friday Web here, right, we just did a refresh. He's got a gear tier 20 Odin. And then we got Mayan on the far right, doesn't have any gear tier 20, but he's higher, right? It's because of the amount of diamonds and red stars he has on these meta characters. That is something else that we can't ignore, right? Proper investment makes a character stronger, and in a rubber match, the person who has the stronger team most likely is going to win. We are moving towards a bold statement here. We're going to consider a little bit more evidence, starting with my new player account. So the last time we spoke, we were at 268. Now we're at 242. Haven't been playing it super hard, so we got to get after it a little bit. But notice who my arena team is. It's the Vigilante team. This team right here is doing work against standard Annihilator teams, right? Because they get a lot of bonuses against villains. Annihilators are kind of an older team. This is one of the newer teams to come out. The stats are bigger. And as long as your Punisher is about the same as that endgame Thanos, you win that match. You win that match. So we're just erasing those teams, right? We're free climbing easily. We can punch through Orcus teams, right? Because the Vigilantes can go through evades. They do well against Spider Society also. So they are an excellent entry arena team. You're going to obviously use them in Rage too, but I'm telling you right now, that is a team worth investing in. So let's look at what's going on in the new player area, at least in my arena shard. Number 3, we have Fresh. So he indeed has some Annihilators, right? He also has Apocalypse and the Super Scroll. So my team, my Vigilante team, will not work against hybrids like this. But it's interesting to see what's going on. I can acquire the Super Scroll. I can use them perhaps on my team. We'll see how things go. Coming in at number 2, we have Destroyer. Now, Destroyer has been on the list for now a streak of 2 videos in a row. So we're going to kind of keep track of that and see how things are going. He has Odin. All right, so he has the Shadow King out here and he has Odin. There's no way I'm going to be able to get through him. So it's just something to keep in mind that the top end of your arena might be pretty heavy-handed. You're looking for an opportunity to push through. You just got to know how. In this case, I would need an Odin in order to make that happen. Holding down the number 1 spot is Chris Rock. He has been on here for 2 videos as well. And he doesn't have Odin, but he's got the Shadow King, Mephisto, right? And that combo can knock out opposing Odins, and that's probably how he's holding down the number 1 spot. So again, just an alternative path to victory. But we recognize, again, since it's a newer arena shard, so to speak, comparatively speaking, no one yet has Charles Xavier. So what do I have to do to get inside the top 100 in this arena shard? Well, we got Tooth. Tooth is holding it down. He's the gateway to the top 100, and he has a straight Annihilator team. My Vigilantes will punch right through that, provided that we're of equal strength. So I need to get more power into that team. I need to get up to level 95, get to the next gear tier. That should be happening soon. The next time we talk, we should have some progress on that front, and we'll be able to see if I'm going to punch into the top 100 or not. Let's see what's happening around me. So all of these teams, right? I'm gear tier 17. So all these teams that you see here are fair game. I can punch through all of them. It's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of participation with my Vigilante team. So we hit the refresh button, and again, they're all Annihilators. I'm punching through that. Commander and Hondo, I'm punching through both of them. Wars, on the other hand, since he's a gear tier higher and he has that Black Knight, that's going to make a difference. I'm not going to be able to punch through that. But what I really want to point out is something interesting is happening. I'm using a raid team to beat a arena team straight up, right? If it's straight up, equal power, I win. And we saw people on the end game who are not even using members of that arena team anymore. I think that shows that that team has met its life cycle, meaning a new arena team must be coming. The next most important game mode in Marvel Strike Force is raids. This is how you're going to generate what you need for your economy, how you're going to power your characters up. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we got. Spotlight raid. All right, so Spotlight raid, this hasn't changed too much. Alpha Flight, what we want to show is I can sim through the Alpha Flight nodes with this team, right? This is my end game. Yep, this is my end game Alpha Flight, so I can sim through all the nodes with this team. Occasionally, for some reason, they lose on the boss. It happens very rarely, but it does indeed happen. So we compare that with what's happening on my new player side, and this is where I'm at. Again, I'm not able to sim. I can't punch through the bosses. I cannot manual through the bosses with this power. So we see the difference, right? That's the gap that I need to close. We're slowly working our way towards that, because we do want to do decently in Spotlight raids when possible. Spotlight raid is not the priority though. Spotlight raid is not the priority. We want to make sure we get that clear. So the other team that we're going to need in the Spotlight raid are the Uncanny Avengers. This is what mine are in the main account. Again, I'm able to sim all the way through all the nodes that they're required. So on the new player account, this is my Uncanny Avengers. We are working on Jean Grey because we're using her as a mutant stand-in for the mutant raid team. The other characters like Falcon and Hercules, I will put power into them. I shouldn't have put power into them. I was mistaken. I thought that I was able to punch through the Alpha Flight nodes. I was wrong. So I started investing in them thinking that I was making progress. So I should not have done that. There's no need to be working on this team if I can't even get to the section of the raid where this team is being used. So the Spotlight Orbs are here to help as a catch-up mechanic if you don't have teams, and to help you to push the newer teams ahead. So in this case, on the left-hand side, you're going to get all 3 members of the Absolute A-Force, and you got 2 members here of the Astral team if you don't have those teams maxed out already. Endgame players, you get 5 guaranteed shards of Patriot. So if you don't have that team maxed out already, you can just do the math, get all the shards that you need. Right, this is how you're going to get that individual for the Liberty team maxed out. It's through that Spotlight Orb. Now on the right hand side, you got all the farmable characters for the last couple teams. So you got Liberty members, you got the Accursed, you got Vigilantes, you got Thunderbolts, you got Starjammers. So those are all the individuals you could farm anyway, but this will just help speed up that process. The Thunderbolts are the team that we're using to get through the bio section of the Chaotic Storm raid. I'm assuming when we get Hyperion that we'll be able to sim through that. Like right now, I still have to use a SAC team, then I have to go back with my Hive Mind, but I'm hoping when we get Hyperion unlocked, I can just sim through that. That's going to save us some time. Now, as we go through, we're just going to go through the newest raid teams to the oldest. And I want you to notice something. Again, I think this is showing that something is happening in the game. If we compare what we got right here to my new player account, again, I can't verify it, but I'm just going to assume that when I get that Hyperion unlocked, I'll be able to do difficulty 3 or the Chaotic Storm raid. Again, that's going to put me into the end game economy, right? I'm going to start getting things that are representative of that end game economy. And this is what you want to do. That's how you're going to be powering up your account. Raid teams are supremely important. The team that came out right before them obviously was the Vigilante team. They're going to get us through the skill section. Hey, I got Silver Sable. I got my first gear tier 20. So we're working on that, and looks like I'm going to be going after Daredevil next. So hey man, I just want to know if these are good choices. But hey, Vigilante, it's getting us through that skill section. I still manually play the boss, but you can sim through the other 2 nodes. I'm not sure when you can start simming through the boss. I just don't want to accidentally lose, right? I don't want to lose out on that. I can confirm difficulty 3, this will work. This will work. You can't sim it. You have to play it manually. Again, I haven't tried it. I'm scared of losing, but you can sim at least the nodes, but the boss node you should probably play manually. How about that? I'll say it that way. The boss node I play manually. And again, this is just so I can get into that end game economy. The sooner you can do that, the easier it is to power up your characters. The team that came out before the Vigilante team were the Night Stalkers. Now I think we're starting to get into an area that's very interesting. The Night Stalkers are a great team. They're going to get us through that Mystic section, but they're getting older, right? We've got to appreciate that this team has been around for some time. So it is likely at some point that this team is going to be replaced. However, they're working very well right now. We recognize you can pull Moon Knight out and put in a meta character, and so that's why I'm still having a little bit of struggle when it comes to the Night Stalkers on a new player account. I cannot reliably get through that difficulty 3, so I'm not going to put the difficulty 3 option here. I need a little bit more power to put into them, and we'll see how things go. Maybe when we talk next month, we'll see if we got to that difficulty 3 or not. Let me know in the comments if you know better. How much power do you need in your Night Stalker team to reliably clear difficulty 3 on the Chaotic Storm raid? The team that came out before the Night Stalkers was Orcus. And Orcus is your solution to get through the tech section of the Chaotic Storm raid. I can sim through with this team right here. Again, we've been skipping the bosses, so I don't know if it can do the boss or not. I know I can do it on manual. I guess I do sim on occasion if we got extra energy, but this is what I'm using on the end game account. So we'll flip over to the new player side of things, and this is the Orcus that I got set up. I think we can get through on the difficulty 3. I don't know if it's more reliable than the Night Stalkers. I still don't sim. I play it manually. It's how I'm going to get through the difficulty 3. And again, we're starting to get into that end game economy. That's why it's important to do that. That's why your raid teams are so important. Raid teams are the most important thing you can do as a new player. Okay, let's just make that clear. The most important thing, more important than arena. You want to make sure you're investing in your raid teams. Now, here is the point of the discussion. We have the oldest team on that list, which is the Extreme X-Men. They'll get us through the mutant section. You can pop Cyclops out and you can do a lot of work. You can leave him in. If he's strong enough, you can leave him in and do a lot of work, but I usually pop him out on the end game. And on the end game, this is the power that I have. And yes, I'm using Old Man Logan, but I'm able to clear the section with this power I have right here on the end game. What does that mean? That means they didn't increase the difficulty like they did in time past. They want you to be able to get through the sections, so they recognize, I believe that means they're going to be replacing the mutant section. Okay, this is what I'm using on my new player side. So I have 4 of the Extreme X-Men, and then we just pop in a 5th. In this case, it's Jean Grey, and we're able to get it through on difficulty 2. I haven't tried difficulty 3 yet, but given what we saw on the last slide, maybe I should, just to see what happens. So let's talk about what we know so far. Okay, we know that there is a mutant raid team coming at some point, but there's no reason to bring them out to finish the mutant lanes, because we can already do that. There's no pain point there. There's no resistance there. So if they were to bring out a new team, that would mean that a new raid is coming. And you're not just going to make a whole new raid for one team. So again, that would mean that you're probably going to replace maybe the Night Stalkers, maybe Orcus, maybe both, since those are the 2 oldest teams. So we might be seeing more than one team coming. There's 6 months left in the year. There's 6 months left in the year. It's possible that Alpha Flight, the Spotlight raid team, needs adjustment. We know we need a mutant raid team. We talked earlier that we probably are going to need a new arena team. So there's 6 months left. The Accursed team is coming out right now. So that's really right. If there's 6 months, there's 6 teams. Accursed, that means there's 5 teams. So within the next 5 teams, we expect a raid team. We expect an arena team. This is going to get really interesting to see what's on the board, to see what's happening next in Marvel Strike Force. It's times like this when you can really push forward and get ahead. You just have to be in anticipation of what's coming. And when you see your opportunity, you jump on it, right? And that's how you get ahead in this game as a free-to-play player. I want to know your thoughts. What do you think is going to happen in the second half of the year when it comes to Marvel Strike Force? So we'll move on to Cosmic Crucible. So Cosmic Crucible, I'm 152, 148, 6 and 5 for the duration. I don't know if those numbers match. I had a really busy month, so we're just gonna go what we got here. That's what I got. We'll keep track of things moving forward. The numbers are probably off, but all we can do is keep moving forward. Where does that put me in the rankings? We are at 14,100. So again, I'm not a great player, but I just do my part, get my attacks in, and take whatever rewards come. On the baby account, I guess I'm going with 20 and 10, man. I don't know. I lost the records. I don't know what's happening. So again, we'll just keep track of what's happening from here on and see where we end up next month. Let's take a peek at the rankings. Now, this is something that's interesting, right? So my baby account is ranked 134,000. And there's still some room to fall, okay? So there are people playing the game. We just want to make that clear. People saying the game's, falling apart, people are leaving. There's people playing the game, and there's new people coming in every day. They just need assistance. They just need help to learn how to play the game and learn how to get things done. So let's take a peek and see what the top teams in Cosmic Crucible are. Now, obviously, the Accursed is coming in as a Cosmic Crucible team. I'm not really going to invest in them, but let me know how they do as the season goes on. So in order of age, that means the next oldest team would be the Starjammers, or the second oldest team to come out for Cosmic Crucible. They're a strong team. They're meant to stop some of the meta characters. So we'll see what their life cycle is like. I'm enjoying them. They're doing really good on the new player side of things. The team that came out before them is the Immortal X-Men. So they are the third oldest team, and they came out kind of the beginning of this year. that would tell me that there is still room to grow, right? With 6 months of the year left, there's still room to grow. There's probably another Cosmic Crucible team coming. The team that came out before them is the Illuminati. Now we're really starting to reach back into last year. The Illuminati's still good. They got the old stats, right? They came out, we hear about pre-Ares and post-Ares, so this is before Ares came into the game. So they still got the old stats, but their kits are finally tuned for Cosmic Crucible, so they still do well, especially if you got Captain Britain. The team that came out before them is the Cabal. So now we went through the last 5 teams that came out for Cosmic Crucible. Cabal is still good. I haven't put any power in anymore. I haven't reached back that far. I am not building this team on a new player side of things, because that is a long way to reach back. However, let's notice something important. Earlier this year, we did get Omega Red Phoenix Force. So this is the team they're going to keep expanding, adding a new team member every year. I haven't put much power into them, but since I'm not going to be building up the Accursed, I might as well circle back, maybe put some more power into Omega Red Phoenix Force. Now, they are always looking for suggestions. They're always looking for suggestions on who else could fill out this roster. So any type of suggestions, I mean, they're taking them. You can drop some in the comments here. You can talk about on the main Marvel Strike Force Discord. I mean, I would like to see a Black Panther Phoenix Force. I know Updog's really partial to Star-Lord, so hey, we got a Star-Lord Phoenix Force, but what characters do you think would be awesome in this game if they were given the power of the Phoenix? Please drop it in the comments below. So let's move on and talk about my favorite game mode, Alliance War. That don't mean I'm good at it, but I like it. Our alliance is 186-144. We went 5-2 last round. Team Superfly, turn around. Hats off to y'all. Thanks for letting me be a part of this. These cats are amazing. We had a really good run. When we kicked off the war season, we were placed at 61. Last time we spoke, we're at 222. I mean, these cats are doing it. This is why you don't panic when things happen in the game. Overpower came to the game, people panic, right? You just have to adapt and overcome. We learned how big of punch-ups you could do. You switched a couple of teams on offense, and boom, you're right back in the thing being competitive. And just to show what's possible, there was a point in time where we were ranked number 7. Again, that's not due to me. That's due to the awesomeness of the Alliance. It's just not giving up. Just people that continue to push, right? It's just life lessons. You don't give up just because things are hard. You can take advantage of the situation. We're get all the way up into the top 10. We weren't able to stay there, but I'm telling you right now, man, hats off to this group. Team Superfly, turn around. Keep the good things coming. Let the good times roll. And in that same manner, I gotta give a shout out to No Cap Motivation, right? These cats, everybody here that's in this alliance, this is our new player line, everybody's here to get it done. Everybody wants to do good. They're just doing their best. They ask a lot of questions. We went 42-14, 8-3 in the last round. I mean, counting the one we had just today. So guys, these dudes are doing it, man. So again, there's people coming to the game. There's people that want to play the game. There's people that want to learn the game. You just have to be available to teach them, hold some hands, show people where to get the proper resources, and people are getting after it. So notice this, last time we spoke, 3,814, and now motivation, 894 overall coming into the game. Everybody continue, please. Right, this is incredible. Everybody continue, please, to just keep working hard. We're doing a fantastic job. Keep teaching people, keep being positive. Marvel Strike Force is a lot of fun. So let's get into some of the best war teams in the game. The most recent war team to come out was the Liberty team. So they're strong. They're going to be with us for a while. Alliance war teams tend to last the longest because Alliance war is so deep. Liberty doing well, holding on strong. So in the game, the team they have coming in right before them is the Mighty Avengers. Mighty Avengers, they do decent. I think we still haven't seen the potential for what they do, since they can just remove buffs, including revive once and charges. Right, it really can give them some sustain. Again, it's Alliance War. They're kind of a makeshift team. They're not made up. They're made up of a lot of older characters plus one newer character in Hercules, so they're not going to be as robust. But they do well in a lot of situations. The team that came up before them is the Absolute A-Force. So this team is a wrecking ball. These characters hit hard. They're made to drill out Odins. They're made to drill out Mephistos. Very good. We're going to be using them again for quite some time because Alliance War is such a deep game mode. Next up is the Undying team. So every year they give us a new character. I don't really do zombies, so mine aren't looking good, but the next character to come out should refresh the team and make them insanely strong. They're already powerful. So when they cap the team out, it should be ridiculously strong. And that character will round out and complete the Undying team. The 5th oldest Alliance War team is the Mercs for Money team. Again, this is one of my favorite. I love Old Man Logan. It's just a fan favorite team of mine. I love it. But I just want to bring out, right? That's 5. So that's 5. So teams older than this, you really want, I mean, this team even, I don't know if I can justify people reaching back to build this team for Alliance War when you have other teams that are newer and stronger, right? So these teams are getting a little bit long in the tooth. They're still going to be good. Old Man Logan's amazing. For those of us as veterans, we're still going to be putting power into them. But I just want to put that out. And now Battle World. Okay, Battle World. Again, I think this is a really, really interesting time that we are at the halfway mark of the year, because we only have one Battle World team. And of course, that is the Astral team. Now, depending on when you're watching this video, Battle World may already be back, and we'll be trying to get another star for Null. That was announced in a blog post. But again, I want us to think about the timing, where we are in the timing of the game. Here we are at the halfway mark of the year. Because keep in mind, we were told in one of the Strike Time videos that Sentry is going to be the boss of the next iteration of Battle World, and that Battle World is supposed to show up this year, probably in the fall. So we would need another team to go with that. So now we're already compressing our timeline, right? We need a new arena team. If we get a new raid team, right, there's no point in bringing out one. You got to bring out more characters than that, because we probably need a new raid. Then we need a Battle World team. So again, there's only 6 months left in the game. So if we're going to get a new team like this new arena team, who's it going to be? When's it going to come out? We need to be in anticipation of this, right? I'm not talking about FOMO and stuff like that. But when you get new arena teams, that is a time for you to push ahead. That's a time for you to leapfrog people, because you have, right, if you have the team, the earlier you have it and the more aggressive you are in arena, that's how you can bypass some of the other things that were blocking our way earlier. One of those teams that have to show up at some point is the Hellfire Club. So this is supposed to be Sebastian Shaw hanging out, counting his money. So what game mode would that team be for, right? What game mode? Would they be a New Mutant raid team? Would they be a Spotlight raid team? Would they be the arena team? What classification will the Hellfire Club fall into? In like manner, the Fantastic Four, right? There's a movie coming out for them. Again, it was already stated in the Strike Time video that the Thing and most definitely Johnny Storm were going to be reworked. So obviously it's going to be for a Fantastic Four team, but who's going to be on that team? What game mode are they going to be in? So we got a representation here of Franklin and Valeria Richards. Will those children be in the game? Now, usually you can't have children in the game, but they're doing some things in the comics right now. We're doing some things in the comics right now. You have Franklin Richards, you got Valeria Richards. They're participating in things in the comics, so some of that stuff could translate to the game. In any case, what game mode is the Fantastic Four going to be in? Who are going to be the members of that team? I'm really interested to know what you think about that and all the other topics that we talked about so far. What do you think the future, what's the direction of Marvel Strike Force? I'm really excited to see what happens the second half of the year. And yo, if you haven't seen this video right here, please check it out. It's legit.